The Lion and the Whisper. In the heart of the vast savanna, where the golden grasses sway beneath the unforgiving sun, there lived a lion, strong, proud, and feared by all. His roar echoed through the land, shaking the earth itself. His every step commanded respect, his eyes burning with the power of the wild. Yet there was one thing that haunted him more than anything else. One thing that twisted his insides with fear. It wasn't the growl of a rival or the threat of a hunter. It was a whisper. A whisper, soft and subtle, slipping through the wind like a ghost. The lion had heard these whispers before, whispers that came in the dead of night when the moon hung low and the shadows seemed to stretch forever. They weren't loud, not in the way a roar could shake the heavens. No, these whispers were quieter, like a breeze that brushed the fur on the back of his neck. But it was in their silence that their power lay. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky with streaks of purple and gold, the lion lay in his lair. The savanna hummed with the sounds of the night, crickets chirping, the rustle of leaves in the wind, the distant cry of an owl. But then, just as he began to drift into a heavy sleep, the whisper came. Soft, unmistakable, it called his name. Lion, lion. His heart raced. He sat up, every muscle tense. His sharp eyes scanned the darkness, but there was no one in sight. And yet, he could hear it again. The whisper. Close. Very close. It wasn't a threat of claws or fangs. It was something far more insidious, something that gnawed at the soul. As the whispers grew louder, his fear deepened. How could something so soft be so terrifying? His thoughts raced. Was it a trick of the wind? Was it a rival trying to unnerve him? But no, this was different. This was more than just sound. It was a presence. A presence he couldn't see but felt all around him. He stood, his body trembling. He roared into the night, the sound of his voice thunderous against the quiet. The roar shook the earth, the air vibrating with its force. But even as his mighty roar echoed through the valley, the whisper continued, weaving through the silence like an insistent thread. Lion, you are nothing but a shadow. The words struck him like a blow, the weight of them sinking into his heart. A shadow? He, the king of the savannah? He who had hunted the fiercest beasts, ruled the land with strength and pride? The thought was absurd, and yet the whisper lingered, creeping under his skin, burrowing deep into his mind. His roar had been powerful, yes, but in the face of the whisper, it felt weak. The lion paced, his thoughts racing, his heart pounding in his chest. How could he confront something so elusive? How could he fight a fear that wasn't a thing, but a feeling? The very nature of the whisper, its softness, its subtlety, made it impossible to fight with brute strength. And so he was left vulnerable, paralyzed by the uncertainty of its meaning. Then, in the quiet of the night, the whisper came again, but this time it was different. It wasn't an accusation, nor a taunt. It was a question. Lion, do you fear your own weakness? The question echoed through his mind, not as a voice, but as a deep, gnawing thought. His strength had always been his pride. But was there more to him than his roar? Was he more than the beast others feared? In that moment, the lion understood. The whisper had not been his enemy. It had been a mirror, showing him a truth he had avoided for so long. His fear had not been of the whispers themselves, but of what they revealed. His fear was of his own vulnerability, his own self-doubt, the parts of him that couldn't be seen with a roar. The lion sat down, his once fearful heart now calm. The whispers no longer haunted him, for he had faced them. He had looked inward, and in doing so had discovered that strength was not just in his roar, it was in his ability to confront his own fears, his own uncertainties. The moon rose high above the savanna, casting its pale light on the lion's golden mane. The savanna, quiet and still, seemed to breathe in unison with him. He was no longer just the king of the savanna by strength, but by wisdom as well. And so, the lion learned that sometimes the quietest voices hold the deepest truths. And in facing those whispers, he found the courage to be more than he had ever believed he could be. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help our channel grow.